Next presentation is about circular economy in corporate social responsibility strategies, and we will observe the evidence from non-financial reports of Russian companies. So, can we present? Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Perfect. So the floor is yours. Welcome.
And thank you very much.
If you could please present your paper.
Yes, I think I am. Do you see it? Is it clear?
There is usually some delay, so not now, but I believe it will start in a while. Yes, we can see your presentation, and the presentation, as mentioned on the slide, is by Yana, Shokola and Koreval Lyubov, so please take the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear colleagues. I was very impressed by Peter's presentation. Thank you very much for this deep dig in the industry with all the trends. And I should say that our research, our article, and our presentation is pure scientific. Maybe we don't have such a lot of industry numbers, but we have some, I think, interesting information also to think about. My name is Yana Shokola. I'm a PhD and assistant professor in St. Petersburg State University of Economics, and I'm here with Koreval Lyubov, PhD and professor in the same university. And today we're speaking about circular economy in corporate social responsibility strategies, evidence from non-financial reports of Russian companies. We all know that now we are living in a linear economy, which is produce, use, and waste. This circle is not very proficient. So the main aim, the main subject today, speaking about sustainability, is to move from the linear model to the circular economy. Circular economy when we produce, use, reuse, and we don't waste but use the resources once again to produce further. So this is a rather new concept. About 10-20 years ago we started to speak about it. So, and of course the main driver of the circular economy is business. So we decided to take a look at how the business understands the circular economy, and does the business want to be part of this circular economy? So the best thing for us to take a look at the business opinion about circular economy is to look at their non-financial reports, also known as corporate social responsibility reports or sustainability reports. There are some reports where they write about their initiatives, what they do for society, ecology, etc. So we decided to take a look if the business, if the companies which work in Russia know the term of circular economy and do they use them in their non-financial reporting. So some similar research was made in cosmetic industry and consumer goods sector, and also in different countries. So we had the two main research questions. The first is there any notification of using the term of circular economy in corporate social responsibility reports of Russian companies? And by Russian companies, we mean the companies which operate in Russia. And the second question, is there any sectoral differences between how they involved in their circular economy, again in Russian business? So how did we collect our sample? Of course, we all know that there are international database where you can take a look at all their non-financial reports. But as we understand, the number of reports from Russian companies are very limited there, because not every company translates its report in English. So we use a database of Russian Union of Industrialists and Entrepreneurs, and we found more than 90 reports there. They issued it was reports of the year 2019. Our research was made in January 2021, and at that time it was the latest data available. So at the end we had 96 reports from 85 companies. The number of reports in companies are not the same, because some companies provide several reports. For example, they separate their corporate social responsibility reports from their ecological, for example, reports, and from 16 sectors or industries of Russian economy. So what we were looking for, we wanted to find any mention about circular economy in the report. But because the circular economy concept and the term is not very, we need to translate it into Russian. So we found in literature the most popular translations of circular economy in Russian. So we were looking for those four collocations. You see that on the slide. And occurrence were checked also for relevance for circular economy. So at the end, we found out that 13% of studied Russian companies mentioned circular economy in the reports. And you see the list of these companies, and you also see the number of mentions in the reports. So, for example, for Coca-Cola, it's 1, Philip Morris 1, etc. And as you see, mostly it's 1 or 2 mentions about their circular economy. And the interesting company is Sibur Group. They have 62 mentions of circular economy. So our aim of this research, which is the first step of the global, the bigger research that we wanted to conduct. So it is the first step. So we aim to find out the mentions of the circular economy. And it doesn't mean that the company, the other company who doesn't have any mention circular economy, do not implement principles or practice of circular economy. It's only about mentions. Do they understand the concept, and do they put it in their non-financial reports? So there are some citation from the company, and where you can see, for example, Coca-Cola had only one mention, and they say it was an interview from the manager of sustainable development of the company, and they say that they invest heavily to bring their circular economy closer. But in the text, we don't see any mention about it again. So some companies are writing that they want to move to 3 air cycling economy model. Some are saying that they signed for commitment, and this commitment wants to bring this to develop circular economy in the world, and etc. So there are more citation in the paper. And there is a second question, research question that we ask: is there any differences in companies and sectors? So as we see, you see the number of industries, the names of industries, the name of companies which presented their reports, the number of reports, and how many times does how many companies from these sector mentioned their mentioned circular economy and the percentage. And as you see, the manufactured food and other consumer goods and retail are top. Of course, we understand that the sample is it should be bigger to make some conclusions statistically valuable. But we think that is also giving us some picture. And also you see that about 60% of all the interested industries, they didn't mention circular economy in their non-profit reports at all. So what are the main conclusions and discussions? So 13% of companies provided non-financial report and working in Russia has mentioned the circular economy in non-financial reports. So the future research that we would like to have and to understand. So how we found confirmation of their website or other sources, if they really understand the term and do they really want to build the circular economy in their company, and does the companies implement ideas but do not name it, because we saw many examples of that. That would be interesting to see. And half of the represents international companies. It was in the previous slide, and as you see, there was Coca-Cola, Enel, Leroy Merlin, etc., and they're not originally from Russia. And it would be interesting to understand the correlation between the origin of the company, operation scale, and implementation of circular economy. And we also noticed that manufacture of food and other consumer products and retail industries, they are they're on the top of the list. So, and the question is, do the customers drive companies to implement their circular economy? These are the questions for the future research, and we are very interested in collaboration. And thank you very much for inviting us to this conference. I think that is it.